I just wanted to introduce two of our wonderful captains. They're seniors, and they've meant so much to our team. And as Sam said, they have 3 Ivy championships under their belts, and we're hoping for a dynasty. But they've been a huge part of that and leading the team. And so, Claire and Carol.
Hi, as Sab said, we're seniors on the team. And we first wanted to thank everyone who came to our games, both of our games, and especially the game tonight. We really appreciate having everyone in the crowd. It's really awesome to look out and see everyone cheering us on. Also want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Princeton Volley means a lot to us, and we really appreciate all the support that you guys have given us these past few years. So we're just here to talk a little bit about what the Princeton Volleyball program has meant to us in these past few years, looking back. And I think one of the first things I remember thinking about Princeton Volley was just how much of a family and how much of a welcoming environment it was the minute I stepped onto campus. And I think this is really well illustrated from a story from my freshman year. It was during my intercession break, and for those of you who don't know, that's basically the time in between the first semester and the second semester. And I went home to San Diego, California. I was so bored because no one was at home. Everyone else, all my other friends at other schools were off at college, or they'd already had their break, and I had nothing to do. But it happened that the men's volleyball team was playing in California during that exact same week. And so I went to every single game all by myself, and then I even drove up. All the guys were staying at one of the guys on the team's houses, and I drove up and I just hung out with the guys. We played tons of games. It was super, super fun. And I think that just shows like what kind of family it is. Like, it didn't matter that I was a freshman, it didn't matter that I was the only girl at this random guy's house, basically. Like, it was just like me and the boys, and it was so much fun. Like, we just had a really great time. I felt completely like I belonged. I felt so welcomed. All of the upperclassmen just like took me under their wing, and it's kind of been that way. It's been this like Princeton Volley family ever since then. And I think that's really special. It's just the minute that you step onto campus as a freshman, you are just a part of this community. You're part of this group of people. They're your squad now. They're your peeps, and you know it. And it's a really special thing. And I think that's continued for the years after. So.
Claire.
Hey guys. Yeah. So just going off what Claire said, I think that Princeton Volleyball is just not only for your 4 years here at community, but for the rest of your life. I've had the chance to meet a bunch of alums at reunions, and this weekend we have alums back for homecoming. Just a quick story, yesterday, Brittany Patak, class of 2017, she was here and our team was going through the costume box, which is a box of fun stuff that's been passed down for what seems like decades. We were going through the box, and she remembered a bunch of things she's contributed to the box for things like volley bowling, volley jolly, the doubles tournament, which are all just really fun traditions and events that we have together. I know that Claire and I are super grateful to be student athletes here and to also have the Princeton Volleyball community around us. And so thank you to Schweiske's parents, everyone who made this happen. Guys, good luck with your season, start of your season. Girls, great job this weekend. Let's crush the rest of Ivies.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of stories, and actually listening to them just speak now about some of the connection between the teams. I was thinking back to 2 years ago when women won the championship, went off to the playoffs, they were playing at BYU, and we had a practice, I think earlier in the day, and if memory serves, I was like really working hard at practice to get the guys to be more energetic. I don't know why George comes to mind. I was like trying to get like just some more energy. I don't know why. I just think it was George, but it could have been anyone. But I remember being at practice being like, come on, we need more energy. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, George. I could have been someone else. But I just remember leaving practice being like, God, I wish we had more fire and energy and this and that. And then we had set up in the tower, we had a meeting up there. The girls were playing BYU. We were going to stream the match to watch the match and support the girls. And we got up there and we turned it on, and it was cool coverage and stuff, and they're warming up and this and that. And I think we won like the first point. It was a big block. I think it might have been Brittany Patak on a block or something. The room erupted. Like, even George was jumping up and firing up. People were just pushing each other and going crazy. And I'm pretty sure that it was like deuce sets or 22 all. I mean, it was really close in some of those sets. And the guys were on the tables. It was just awesome to see this like genuine love. I mean, I think you feel I guess I can't say as a parent, but as a parent of these two groups, you feel like you want to say, like, play nice, love each other, actually make it genuine, make it real, and you wonder if they say, yeah, sure, okay, coach, whatever, and if they actually do it. But it was just so genuine in that moment to see the guys so excited for the women in the playoffs and so appreciative of that. It was really, really special. So I think there's tons of those moments. I think we're going to share them tonight and hear from the current players, but also from the alums who lived through that and kind of set the stage. You know, I think that's the exciting thing, is that there's generations of this lived, and Sabrina's the best example of it. She lived here as a player, had friends on the team that were the guys, then was the assistant coach for both teams. And I guess they're all gone now, but there was a bunch of some of our best players she recruited on the men's team, which was pretty cool to see that. So I'm going to introduce one of our senior captains. Actually, I believe his official title is Senior Captain Emeritus. He's moved past the senior captain role. But this guy is a really great guy, and it's been fun for me to compete with him a little bit. We did some sprints this summer. I'm not going to tell you who won. We did some sprint training, and it was really fun to have that kind of role with a player where you try to push them, make them better, but they do the same for you. So I'd like to bring up Senior Emeritus Captain Corey Shorty.
First off, thank you to Troyski for that great introduction. And I can't help but reiterate everything that Carol and Claire had to say. I think that Prince Volley is an unbelievable family, and you feel it right when you get on campus, and the connections will last you a lifetime. But today, I kind of wanted to direct this towards not only the freshmen, but mostly the freshmen who are kind of getting started on their journey at Princeton. And since I'm an economics major, and the fact that this is kind of generally a fundraising event, I think it would be fit for my speech to be about investments. But I don't necessarily want to talk about financial investments, though, I mean, hopefully a few years down the road you can ask me those kinds of questions. But investments in yourself, and making investments in your time at Princeton. Because as part of this program, you really have the opportunity to forge your own path, to make Princeton what you want to make it. And it's a little bit different than the experience that you have in high school, where your parents kind of guide you or navigate you towards the path that they think is best and will be best for you long term. And I mean, whether it was SAT tutoring or paying for you to go to volleyball tournaments to get seen by the coaches, they did a lot to get you to where you are. But also, by choosing Princeton, you've decided and you've made a decision that you want to make an investment in yourself, because Princeton is the type of institution where you can do that and do that very successfully. But in my time here, and I think all of the seniors can agree with me on this, the investments that you make at Princeton are different than those that you made in high school. They're still funded by your parents for the most part, but they're different because, well, entirely, thank you, Dad. He's not wrong. So thank you. But they're different because you have the independence to make your Princeton experience what you want it, and you can choose how your time and energy are invested while you're on campus here. But it's on you to make the investment, though. Your 4 years are a long time, but they also fly by in a very short period of time relative to every other year in high school, in my opinion. And it's your choice to make the Princeton Volley specifically experience what you want it. It's your choice to go up to Nikki and ask him how his back is doing, or to go up to Lou during a bus ride and talk with him for 30 minutes on the bus, to connect with the alumni network that's so extensive and wants to help you in any way that they can, to thank the people at Dillon, Dan, Nikki, all those guys that help keep our playing environment in top condition, to reach out to faculty, fellows, Princeton athletics administrators, and everyone else at the school that wants to see you succeed. And as a freshman, it can be pretty daunting because a lot of those things feel uncomfortable in the situation. But the other seniors and I can assure you that these investments will pay off in the long term. And I think personally the most valuable investment that I've made in my 4 years here is to make a concerted effort to be grateful for every person and every experience, whether good or bad, because they've shaped who I've become over these 4 years, and those lessons will remain with me for the rest of my life. And it's not only a good life skill to be grateful for the things that you have, it will also help you make the most out of your time here, and it will help you develop the deepest relationships. And those relationships are going to be what sustains you through the highs and lows here, and for years down the road after college. And just because they may not be around 24/7, don't forget the people who fund your ability to make these investments, who are your parents. Because I've relied on my parents very heavily during my time here, and call them more often than you think because they miss you dearly. So I just want to say that I'm grateful for every person in this room. The Princeton Volley family means the world to me. And thank you, Coach Schweisky, for organizing this event. And go Tigers.
Okay, I want to share one more story I was thinking about as I'm thinking about, as the players are speaking about how connected the two teams are. A lot of times we'll recruit against Stanford or UCLA or Penn State or Pepperdine, and I know when those guys go on those visits, when they go to those arenas, it's all professional ticket takers, it's professional announcers, it's all sort of set up by professionals. And we don't have that. And so early on, I was trying to think, how do you spin that? How do you make that a positive? And I started talking about like the family feel. Like, if you're there tonight, Corey's on the mic doing the announcement. I mean, my first year here, I remember Keenan and Catherine, two of our alums. Keenan he used to ride around in a little tiger suit and a tricycle, getting fired up for the games. And then he would announce the game, and it was just fun to see the two teams. And now we have an entourage of people on social media, agents on social media. They're running around, doing everything. And you're connected by that experience. And I always tell recruits, if you went to Stanford or UCLA or something like that, and you're on the men's and women's team, would you go to their games? I'm sure you'd go to some games. You wouldn't go to every game. There's some nights where you might have a test or something else or a party to go to, and you wouldn't go. Part of the necessity of this being a small sort of mom and pop operation in the best university in the world is that we go to work each other's games, and through that is the lived experience. So when we're all out at, is it Cannon tonight or TI? Where are we going? Where am I going tonight? Charter? I can't get this. I've yet to be invited to one of these parties. I'm trying to go. If anyone finds out where the party is, let me know. But when you're out at the party tonight, which I won't be there, so you can have fun there. You've lived through. You saw the kill that Maggie had tonight. You saw the kill. I mean, I remember there was a ball years ago. Catherine Quinn, Brad Howard. We used to do lines for the women until they made it like you had to be an official linesman. And so Brad Howard, for those who know, Brad Howard was on the line, pivotal point, and he didn't see it, or he was too nervous to call it. And as Catherine is switching sides, she like reamed him out, and she's twice to get him off the line. Okay, sorry. So we changed that. But of course, that night out at the TI or the club or whatever, like they had lived through that. That was the source of the energy to talk about. So I just think in this kind of environment where you live through each other's moments, it's pretty exciting. And I was thinking back to 2014. The first time we beat Penn State in my tenure. We beat Penn State, and it was so exciting. And I'm watching all the social media that the girls had done. And Mary Claire and I think Brittany, they had this huge hug and embrace, and we win the game. I go home and I'm listening to the whatever it was, Tiger Ivy cast, whatever it's called, and it was Cara Mattaliano and Annie Froman on the, and they're trying to be impartial, but we're getting so close to beating Penn State. They're like, oh my God, come on, Cody! I mean, point to Penn State. And they're just like so fired up, and when we win, Annie Froman, they're just like, oh my God, Princeton beats Penn State for the first time in we think a really long time. We don't know. It's like, this is awesome. And they're just jumping up and down. And I have that clip and I watch it. And it's just the genuine appreciation from the two teams I don't think is felt. We talk to our colleagues. The basketball teams don't hang out like that. Softball and baseball aren't like that. It's a really unique thing, and it's special. And so it's especially a part of that.